Mis amores, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I do this matte latte fantasy that it's been trending all over TikTok and all over YouTube. I saw this video by Hindish and I was very inspired to do this. Trying out first is Joanna Vargas moisturizer, which is my first time trying it. It's a moisturizer and a serum for the face, and I felt that it was a little bit thick for my skin. As you can see, I kind of like checked the bottle again, and I kept blending it, and then it looked good on the skin. I'm also trying for the first time this Self-Fest by Hiram moisturizer and barrier protection cream. And it worked really good just to hydrate and keep my skin prepped and ready for the makeup application, which is what I wanted. I wanted to have a super glowy base that I can build up to have a matte base later. Starting with creams, I went in and I also was a little bit inspired by this other video that I saw recently of Scott Barnes. They were doing Tati Westboro's makeup, and I'm taking a lot of inspiration on the contour and underpainting style of Scott Barnes to do this latte makeup. So it's a mix of that, and the eyes are going to be from the Hindash makeup look that I saw. I'm also testing this new brush for the first time, and I have to say I was very impressed. The technique of contouring the jaw, it was very easy to replicate because it is blending in circles and then slowly dragging down the color. That was the trick, to be honest. That was all. And then I went ahead with this new iconic London blush. I'm tempted to go all the way up and start my blush in my brow, but today I was following that style of Scott Barnes, so I really wanted to place the blush only in the areas where it's supposed to go, or at least what Scott recommended it to blend with the contour. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually love that. He did say on this video that if you wanted, you could go a little bit higher. Then again, I went with one of my favorite concealers, the REM concealer, and this is to kind of start building up that concealer area and to make sure that my eyes are bright, but not fully covered. What I do this is I apply it lightly and then I go in with a sponge, so kind of like remove a little bit of the product. And again, this is just the underpainting. Then I went ahead with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. And this was the moment that I learned the most from Scott, where they were mentioning that you have to just cover everything that you just did. I was a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna be able to see all of these? Or did I do too much? Did I not do enough? It was a lot of like doubting myself in the moment, but I was like, trust the process, trust the makeup, trust Scott Barnes. And they said also not to go under, like in the chin area, so you can have that sharp line for the jawline. And I was like, okay, let's go. Then to freshen all up, I applied a little bit of setting spray, and I was liking it. I started going with the powders. As Scott also mentioned on their video, you gotta do all bronzers, blush, and bronze, like basically everywhere that you just apply your bronzer before. So that's what I did. And then with my setting powder, I went into the areas that I wanted to highlight. So as you can see, I'm going into that light area and just like making sure that everything is blended and beautiful. And it was looking really, really good. I started to build up a brow with the pencil from Lawless Beauty, which I've been loving a lot. I just used the shade Blonde today, and it worked really good for this look. Now, after this, I wanted to zoom in a little bit and show y'all more detail of how I'm going to do my eyes. And as you can see, I'm not using any eyeshadows. I'm still using the same bronzer. First, starting contouring my nose. This is like my personal technique. I love to start in this part of the eye, which is a little bit high for the nose, but I kind of frame my nose from up there. I apply the most amount of color up there, and then from there, I literally just flip the brush the other way and I start dragging the color down. So as you can see, there's not that much color by the time that I get to the end of the nose, which is giving me that sharp line, but also I could easily blend that down, which is now what I'm gonna do. I just keep blending, blending, blending. I do the same. I flip that brush, sorry, and then I blend. And then voila, that's one side of the nose, sort of done. I repeat the same of the other side. And then from the bottom, you need to make sure that you do that kind of like bottom part because it elevates really the nose. Then for the external part of the nose, you're going to take a little bit of your setting powder or your foundation powder, and then you're going to use that to kind of like blend it and make sure that it's completely seamless so you don't see like a harsh line. Look at this side. Boom, blended. That's what I mean. Look at that nose. Now we're gonna go with that same bronzer, and we're gonna use that for our eyeshadow. So we're gonna start with the external part of the eye, and these we're gonna apply the most amount of color in there. So you're gonna see me go back and forward a little bit, and then I'm just gonna slightly create like a liner kind of like motion. And as you can see, I'm just blending in that same motion, starting from the outer part and then going a little bit up. Once I get to an area that I'm like, okay, satisfied with the pressure, I also start blending into my eye to create like a C motion. This is what you're seeing right now, right here. And this is just giving a contour shape to the eye. I make sure that everything is fully blended, so I just continue blending. And then with this powder, so like literally that same powder that we've been using on our face, we're gonna do the inner part of the eye. This is just to make sure that we catch some light in there. And as you can see, it's giving like that all matte fantasy, that latte fantasy that the girl is having living for. And not gonna lie, I also saw those makeups and I was like, girl, that's cute and so simple. I need to do that. Then, of course, with that same bronzer, we finish it up doing the under eye. Now I'm going to apply a quick lash. This is just a small lash from Kiss. And then to finish this look, I'm going to use a lip liner from MAC Cosmetics that I recently got in my BoxyCharm box. And also I'm going to use that NARS Cosmetic lipstick that it was velvety and delicious. And I think it went perfectly with this fantasy. To finish it all up, I'm going to use this Kimchi Cheek Cosmetics setting spray, and voila, mis amores. What do y'all think? Please let me know in the comments down below. I was really inspired by a lot of makeup artists and YouTube videos to do this YouTube video myself. And I want to get back into YouTube. I want to post a lot more content frequently here. So this is kind of like me dipping the waters back in. Let me know in the comments down below what do you think. And I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't yet.